Weather maps. I can use weather maps to show high and low pressure and fronts. Starter, name the types of converging plates in Map A and Map B that correctly describe the geological process that formed the mountains. Map A. So here we have the Himalaya Mountains. So we have converging plates coming together of a continental plate. We have the India continental plate converging with the China continental plate, and you get these folded mountains. Over here in Map B, we have the Pacific Ocean converging with South America. So here you have the oceanic plate subducting underneath the continental plate. And here you're going to get volcanic mountains and trenches in the water. So again, here in Map A, it's a continental plate converging, and we get the Himalaya Mountains. Here, it's a continental oceanic plate converging, and the process is called subduction when the oceanic plate goes underneath the continental plate, forming volcanic mountains and trenches. Read the TEK below and watch the video. Your TEK reads, identify how global patterns of atmospheric movement influence local weather using weather maps that show high and low pressure and fronts.
This is Dwayne Friend with University of Illinois Extension. You want to see what the weather is going to be for the next few days. You turn on the TV and watch your favorite weather person talking about what weather to expect. A map is shown with a bunch of H's, L's, and lines on it. What does all this mean? Well, the H's represent an area of higher air pressure. Higher air pressure is generally associated with fair or good weather. Air is moving in a clockwise fashion away from the high pressure. The L's represent an area of lower air pressure. Lower air pressure is generally associated with cloudy or stormy weather. Air is moving in a counterclockwise fashion towards the low pressure. The blue lines with the points show the leading edge of colder air, so it is known as a cold front. The points show the direction the cold air is moving. The red lines with the rounded symbols are the leading edge of warmer air and is known as a warm front. Like the cold front, the rounded edges show the direction of air movement. A line having alternating cold and warm front symbols is a stationary front. This means there are two different air masses next to each other, but neither one is moving. A purple line with the cold and warm front symbols on the same side is called an occluded front. When this is present, it means the low pressure system is beginning to fade away. From these few basics, look at a map of current weather conditions. Can you predict what direction the wind is coming from on different parts of the map? What kind of weather is occurring based on the H and L pressure positions on the map? This is Dwayne Friend with
So now let's review some of the vocabulary. We'll look at the word, definition, and picture. Our first word is weather maps. Weather maps depict current and future states of the atmosphere. Low pressure system. Low pressure systems are warmer, less dense air near Earth's surface. It's associated with high humidity, moist air, more clouds, rains, or storm. So low pressure systems usually lousy weather, not good weather associated with storms, even hurricanes. And low pressure systems are going to move in a counterclockwise direction. High pressure systems. On the map, it's represented by an H. In high pressure systems, you have cooler, dense air sinking to Earth's surface. So it usually brings dry conditions and clear skies. Since the air is dense, no clouds can form. That pressure is pushing down on Earth. So you have good conditions, clear skies. And high pressure systems move in a clockwise position. Cold front and symbol. Cold fronts are where cold air meets warm air. They're fast moving, stormy, and severe weather. They also bring on decreasing temperatures. This is what a cold front symbol looks like. They're pointy triangles. I remember that they are cold. This is a cold front symbol because of the points. It's kind of like an icicle. It's sharp and pointy. And the frontal system is going to move in the direction that these pointy triangles are pointing in. Okay. A warm front and symbol. Warm fronts are where warm air meets cold air. Warm air moves over cold air because it's less dense. These are slow moving with less severe weather. Increasing temperatures are also brought to the area, and this is what your warm front symbol looks like. And I remember this because they are half circles or semicircles, and they kind of remind me of the sun. So sun brings warm weather, increasing temperatures, not so severe. And warm fronts are going to move in the direction of these semicircles, so whatever way they're pointing in. Stationary front. These fronts occur when neither the cool or warm air masses are strong enough to replace each other. They tend to stay in an area for a long period of time, often bringing long periods of precipitation and clouds. So for our activity, we're going to complete the chart by dragging and dropping each term, statement, and picture where it belongs. So here we're looking at this symbol, and remember those triangles, they're pointy at the tips. So this is a cold front. So I'm going to come over here and bring my vocabulary word over. So that's the name of my front. And air masses involved. I'm going to come over here and see what type of air mass is here. So what you have here is the cold air overtaking the warm air. So this would be your direction of your front. And this usually brings on very stormy weather. So I'm going to say violent thunderstorms. Okay, here you have the semicircles. Remember, those represent, or they remind me of the sun. So we can say this is a warm front. And let's go over here, and that's where you have the warm air going over the cold air. So that would be our picture here. And then we could say it brings rain and showers. Okay, and then lastly, what we have here is a stationary front. So it's where you have both a cold front and a warm front coming together, and neither is strong enough to move one or the other. So you have the same weather for days on end. So we can say many days of continuous rain. Okay, and here's what our picture looks like. And here you can see your cold air and warm air are meeting, and neither has the strength to overcome one another. Okay, and lastly, we're going to correctly match the symbols and weather associated with the picture and fronts by dragging and dropping where they belong. So high pressure, the symbol is an H. Okay, I'll just drag and drop that over. And the type of weather associated with a high pressure. Remember, high pressure is when the air is dense, so it pushes down on Earth's surface, so clouds can't form. So it usually brings decent weather. So pressure system, that brings sunny, clear skies and fair weather. That sounds good here. So I'm just going to drag and drop that below here. Okay, so my low pressure system, that's the L sign. So I'm going to come over here and drag my symbol. And low pressure, remember, means lousy weather and sometimes super severe, like hurricane or lots of thunderstorms. So we want to say it's a pressure system that brings cloudy skies and precipitation. So remember, not nice weather. Okay. Cold front, I remember it's those pointy triangles that remind me of icicles. And cold front, let's look over here at the type of weather. Brings cooler weather once it passes. The front brings warmer and builds air once it passes, but humid air. A front that does not move and brings many days. So we're going to say it's going to bring cooler weather because it's a cold front. And then next we have a warm front. And we can assume that a warm front is going to bring warmer temperatures, right? Okay. And humidity. And then lastly, our stationary front. Our stationary front is that altering warm, cold, warm symbol. And what you have here again is neither front is strong enough to overtake one another. So you have the same rain for days. Okay, so the front does not move and brings many days of precipitation. Precipitation, remember, is rain. Okay. And then lastly, we're going to end with a STAR test question for an exit. And here it says, describe the weather at the area of low pressure. So you want to look for that low pressure system on your map. And low pressure always brings lousy weather. So lots of humidity, clouds, could be thunderstorms, lots of wind. So we get overcast skies with strong winds. All right, and today you guys have a Schoology assignment that reflects the PowerPoint that we just reviewed.